The character arc of the main character. Young Black Jedi back again with another video. The character arc of the main character. That is the best part of this whole journey, right? Is allowing for us to build that arc, right? Organically, more wholesomely, more purposefully, right? The more that we continue to keep journeying upward, up the arc, right? It's fantastic to see, like, because the more you start to grow and blossom and develop, the better it is that your life gets when, you know, you start to see yourself rise above, right? You start to see yourself rise in the arc in which you can see has the most potential for you, that has the most purpose for you, right? You know the real script that you need to be following, right? You know what characters you should have in your life. You know some people only deserve a little screen time, some people deserve a lot because you're powerful like that. You have that understanding, you have the wisdom within you to do it, right? And the more that we continue to keep loving ourselves up the arc, the more that we begin to see, oh, like there's a whole lot here that we can really awaken to. A whole ground floor of a foundational building block that we can continue to grow, right? There's a huge there's huge excuse me potential for all of us, right? Because we have that foundation, we have built that, we have that understanding. We can continue to just keep building upon this arc so well because once we start to understand the character arc of the main character, the more we can continue to keep rising, right? And allowing for that arc to take us there, right? I'm not saying it's not going to require effort. It definitely does. It requires effort to sit in stillness long enough to be able to hear that, right? And be able to be like, okay, this is what, you know what I'm saying, we are meant to be doing, right? This is how we're supposed to be, right? Realistically, because it's more about being with your main character all the time than doing is important, but like I'm not gonna say it's not, but like also being is very important. Like being able to just sit in stillness long enough so that the script can start alchemizing into your reality, right? So that your algorithm within can start pushing that content out. That's the whole point of understanding the arc of the main character, is that we can continue to keep building upon our storyline, right? Because our storyline is the most important. Your storyline is the most important. There's no other avenue, right? It's just your storyline really is the one that will propel you into the reality in which you desire, right? And that's what I'm here for. I'm here to push you towards that. I'm here to go into it with you also, right? And the more that we start to see this beautiful cinematic view of this life and the panorama view that we get when we just begin to just open our awareness and brighten the metacognition, awake and bright our awareness. You are awake and you are bright. I'm going to say that one more time. You are awake and you are bright, because that is what's going to allow for us to really start opening up a lot more and being able to start feeling into our experience a lot more, right? So then now we can be able to start materializing the reality in which we desire, right? That's the most important aspect of understanding why the main character has the arc that the main character has, right? You go to feel more into your experience, the more that you're like, okay, this aligns with what I'm doing, or this doesn't align with what I'm doing, right? Let me know in the comments what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. We're all here for a good time. Not really a long time, but we're here for a very grand, beautiful experience, which will then transcend into a whole nother dimension. But that we'll get into that later. Like, we begin to start seeing the importance, right, of understanding the main character and the arc that is of the main character. Because the more that we grow in spirit, the more we're like, okay, this is what fuels us. This is what adds to my story. Let me know in the comments if you felt that. Like, I'll give you an example. I just started doing martial arts. I'm like, again, I took about almost a year off. Felt good in there today. Got some good rounds with the team and feeling really strong. And like, I was like, this adds to my storyline. Like, it's obvious. I can feel it. You know, that's the best part. And the more that I start experimenting and experiencing with myself, the more that I'm like, yes, this is like what I'm supposed to be doing. You know, this is how I'm supposed to be. Really, it's actually, let me reverse that. It's how I'm supposed to be first. Then that in turn will allow for me to be doing what it is that I'm being from. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Like, being is the most important aspect of all this. Just being able to be in the woods or be in a yoga class or be with yourself lifting weights, be with yourself in stillness, right? First, and then being able to do all these other things, like it's important, right? It allows for us to understand the main character arc on a deeper level. And the more that we can continue to evolve into that, the more that we can continue to build upon our story, right? The story that was already written for us. It's already written for you. Nobody else can take it from you, right? The more that I start to see this, the more I'm like, yeah, wait a minute. This was all written in stone, etched in stone since the beginning. It's about just having the patience. In Islam, we say sabr, to have that patience and grow into it. And that's the important part of telling yourself an empowering narrative, right? Because then you tell yourself that narrative, and then you will just in turn live into that reality of that narrative in which you've cultivated that is positive, right? We talk about positive psychology. That's a great aspect, right? You will then live into that more that you are awake, right? Sharp and awake, aligned and focused, right? Concentrated, right? That's what we want from this, right? We want you to be focused. We want you to be concentrated. We want you to stabilize, right? So you can quiet down so that you can start being downloaded, excuse me, with that script that's within you, right? That's what my objective here is for us all. I'm doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? The more that I'm starting to see, I'm staying in order. Stay in line, stay in order, implement law and order into your reality, right? Starts from within, right? And then it starts to materialize, right? Your best qualities will start to materialize as you continue to keep growing into the reality in which you desire, right? And again, that's why I'm here, is to add to that and be able to be of service to you also, as you are of service to me, right? And let me know in the comments what you guys think about like understanding your character arc. Like, what are some things in your life that you've started to understand and things that you're starting to see a bit differently? I'm very interested to hear, everybody's perspective and how people are going about that, right? And the more that I am able to just connect with source within, the more that algorithm within me just aligns, right? I become more aligned with the script, right? And I start to become more attuned to the sacred, right? And just keep attuning, just keep attuning, keep attuning, keep resting, keep attuning. You will come alive. It's already come alive. We just need to continue to keep accessing more of the self, right? And you'll do that by way of the attentional system. You'll allow for the attentional system to rest into your heart, and then that will allow for you to concentrate more, actually, right? And when you fuse to your thoughts a bit more when you're working and doing all these other things, like, you're going to be more focused and concentrated on what you're doing. And that all comes from the self structure. The continuity of the self is housed in the attentional system. That's really what we're starting to unpack here more and more each and every single day. The more that we can connect and we grow and we understand and we share wisdom, right, with each other. We share experiences with each other. That's what we do every single day. That's the best part of it all, isn't it? And we continue to keep shining and keep thriving. Because I know you have that power too, and I know that you just continue to keep doing it, and you continue to keep understanding your character arc. Let me know in the comments what you guys are experiencing in your world. Because what happens in your world, what happens in mine, where it's like a symbiote. It is a symbiote. What if one thing happens to another, we all affect each other, right? So it's we shared experiences is just shared pain. It's all this is just loving awareness, right? That we're all sharing with each other. And the more that we continue to keep unpacking that, the greater our lives become, the more wholesome we feel, the more connected we feel to the earth and the stability of the ground beneath us, right? And the greater it is that we continue to grow, right? It's just continuously releasing, continuously resting, release and rest and release, rest and release. That's all it is. Allow for our energy to start being exited properly, not releasing physically this semen of like I'm not going to release my sexual energy. I have outlets to allow for that to exit, right? Because if not, then you just take the lower based impulse, and then that never ends well. Let me know in the comments if that's something that you guys have gone through, because I've gone through it and really tired of all that. Quite honestly, it gets boring after a while. I just talked about, on my earlier videos, like still working through my understandings of like my lust and things of that nature. So these are some of the things that we can continue to keep seeing what's impacting our character arc so that we can stay in align fully with that script. And so that algorithm can then materialize into our desired reality in the physical plane, right? So the more that we can continue to keep understanding that, the better our life's going to get, the more wise we become, the more loving, the more compassionate, our best qualities come straight to the surface and allow for us to continue to integrate that into our daily living. So, and it'll be much easier that way to integrate into our daily living when we have that kind of heart. When we do it from that kind of heart, guys, it's just going to be a lot easier. And it is a lot easier. So let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll be back with another video. May the force be with you. Peace.